BuukBug, stories that count.
Air Around Us. By Margaret Friskey, pictures by Katherine Evans. Air around us. The band of air around the Earth is about 200 miles high. The heaviest part of it is close to the Earth. Here, close to the Earth, winds are born. Here there is sound and weather. Here we can live. Here we can be warm. 8 miles up the air is always cold. 50 miles up the air is too thin to carry sound. It is too thin to breathe. If the Earth were a ball this big, the band of air around it would be only this wide. Outside the band of air, it is dark. The bright eye of the sun, like a great spotlight, reaches through the dark. There are all colors in light. Sunlight, going through a prism, breaks into all of its colors. When sunlight hits the air around the Earth, the lights bend a little. We see the blue. We see blue in the sky because of the air. The air spreads the sunlight across the Earth. The air saves us from some of the burning light. The heavy air near the Earth has dust and smoke and water vapor in it. The light of a sunset comes across through this heavy air. The light is bent a little more. We see the reds and gold in the light. There is wonder in the air around us. Wind. Wind is moving air. The wind can be a friendly thing. It can dry the clothes. It picks up the water and carries it away. This is called evaporation. It can move a boat and lift a kite, and help an airplane, and carry seed, and bring the rain. Why does the wind blow? Warm air spreads out. Now it is lighter. It goes up. Heavy cool air moves in to take its place. The air is always moving. The sun shines through the air. The sun warms the Earth and things on it. The Earth warms the air. This is one reason high air is so cold. Some mountains have snow on them all summer. Some parts of the Earth are always cold. Some parts are always hot. The sun is closer to some parts of the Earth. It shines straight on them. There it is hot. The sun warms the Earth and things on it. Even in the same place, things warm up in different ways. Put a cookie pan and a wooden breadboard side by side in the sunday. The pan warms up more quickly, but the board will stay warm longer after the sun sets. A field of wheat gives up more warmth to the air than a cool dark woods. Sand in the sun grows hot. The water is cool. The warm air above the sand goes up. The cool air over the sea moves in. Dig down in the sand a little. It is cold. The warmth is all on top. At night, the land cools quickly, but the water has taken the sun's warmth deep into it. The wind changes. Cool air blows off the land. So the Earth, warming and cooling the air, keeps it moving around. The air is never still. Hurricanes. A hurricane is a big windstorm. It is always born over water. The sun beats down for days and days on a quiet sea in a warm part of the world. A lot of hot air goes up. When this hot air meets cold air, they begin to roll around faster and faster. The winds can build up to 100 miles an hour. The storm can be 200 miles wide. It begins to move. Word of it is sent out. People in its path board up their windows. They tied up their boats. Even the little animals feel the storm coming in the air. They scoot off to the cover of the deep woods. Cyclones and tornadoes are windstorms, too. They build up over the hot land. But they are much smaller than a hurricane. All such wild windstorms come from the meeting of very hot and very cold air. Air is always moving because warm air is going up and cool air is moving in. The weatherman can show where the wind is building up. He can show the way he thinks it will move. Clouds. A cumulus cloud is the soft head on a neck of warm air that is moving up. There is water vapor in the air. It cools as it goes up and changes to droplets. Cumulus clouds are beautiful fair weather clouds. Air moving up and moving down under a cloud makes bumpy flying for an airplane. Cirrus clouds are high clouds. They are 8 to 10 miles high. They are thin strings of ice and snow. They move very fast. Often they are running before a storm. A mackerel sky has both cirrus and cumulus clouds. Such a sky means rain is coming. Stratus clouds are low and dark. Cumulus clouds have grown thick and heavy. They cover the whole sky. It looks like rain. Lightning. Everything in the world has some electricity in it. Most of the time it stays quiet. Rub your feet over a wool rug. Touch a metal doorknob. There is a little spark. You picked up some parts of the electricity in the rug. It jumps to the doorknob and gets back to the rug. A thunderhead is a big, dark cloud with wild winds in it. Rain and hail and snow and sleet are there. They are thrown up and down in the cloud as though they were shaken up in a big bag. They are broken apart. Electricity is built up. There is too much of it to be quiet. It wants to jump. It is not easy for electricity to move through air. But the electricity in the clouds seems to feel around until it finds a path of air that it can move through. Then it jumps to another cloud, or to the earth. Lightning is electricity jumping through the air. For the air, it is good and wonderful. The air has a gas in it that is called nitrogen. Plants must have nitrogen to grow. They can't always get it from the air. Lightning changes this nitrogen so that rain can carry it to the ground. Plants can get it through their roots. Loads and loads of nitrogen make the land rich because of lightning in the air. Thunder is only the noise that air makes when lightning jumps through it. Lightning is very, very hot. The air it moves through gets hot, too. The hot air spreads out and takes up more space. Then it cools again and comes back to size. More air rolls in. This noise the air makes is thunder. Some of the rolling noise is only sound jumping back and forth from hills and clouds. Rain. There is always water in the air. It cannot be seen. But look at a cold glass of lemonade on a hot day. The water vapor in the air around the cold glass cools. It changes into droplets. These come together on the cold glass. The outside of the glass is wet. In a cloud, droplets have come together around bits of dust. When the cloud cools more, the droplets come together to make raindrops. When a cloud is cool enough and heavy enough, the rain falls. The Hopi Indians did a dance with rattlesnakes to try to make it rain. Rainmakers, now, try to make it rain, too. They send up smoke that takes a kind of dust to the cloud for raindrops to be made on. Sometimes a flyer goes over a cloud and drops bits of dry ice into it to cool it. These rainmakers know that when a cloud is heavy enough with raindrops and cool enough, it will rain. If a cloud is just about ready to rain, it can sometimes be knocked into it. In some part of the world, the wind brings in rain clouds from over the sea. Then the wind takes the clouds up as it goes over the mountains. As the clouds go up, they cool. They drop their rain. There is no rain for the far side of the mountains. Here it is dry and sandy. In all the air and all the earth, there is just so much water. There is never any more. None is ever lost or gained. The earth and the air keep giving it to each other. A cloud picks up rain as it moves over a lake, by evaporation of water in the lake. It drops it on a cornfield, miles away. The cornfields gives back many pails of water to the air, every day. Oceans, rivers, lakes, a line full of clothes, all give water to the air. There could be no rain without the air to store it up, and carry it and drop it. Fog. Fog is an earth cloud. Air, heavy with water vapor, cools. The vapor changes to droplets. These get on bits of dust. A little hot sun will clear the air. Hail. Hail sometimes follows a summer thunderstorm. High air is cold. Hot air carries the raindrops up into the cold air. They turn to ice. They start to fall, but meet warm air coming up. The ice balls take on more raindrops, and are thrown up into the cold air again. Hail is bumped up and down in the warm and cold air. When it is too heavy to be carried up, it falls to earth. Hailstones can be so big they hurt the fields and fruit trees. Sleet. Sleet begins to fall as rain. It turns to ice in cold air near the earth. Snow. Snow is made in the high clouds. Droplets, too small to be seen, turn into bits of ice. Many of these bits of ice come together to make a snowflake. A snowflake always has 6 points. It is a beautiful thing of air and ice that softly comes to earth. Other facts about air. You cannot see the air, or taste it or smell it. But you always have to have it. It is real. It takes up space. Air has gases in it. It has oxygen, nitrogen, carbon dioxide and water vapor in it. You draw air into your lungs about 20 times every minute. People and animals use the oxygen in the air. They breathe out the carbon dioxide. Plants breathe air through little holes in the leaves. The leaves use the carbon dioxide. They give off the oxygen. At sea level, air is pressing on us from all sides at the rate of 15 pounds a square inch. 20 miles up, the air is thin. The pressure is only 2.5 ounces per square inch. Air protects us from bits of rock and star dust falling through space. These bits, shooting stars, hit the Earth's air and burn to dust from friction. We could have no life on Earth without the friendly, moving, unseen band of air around us.
Stories that count. Subscribe now for more.